Okay, so I take it that you have done some of the yoga sequences. Before you ever do any kind of forward bends, you really need to do the warm-ups, the Surya Namaskars A and B, and at least the standing poses before you come into these. You really need to have your legs warmed up, okay? You may need, a block and a strap for some of these poses, okay? So have them ready, unlike me. So what we're going to do first is, we're going to do a different version of Baddha Konasana. A lot of people have a lot of tightness in here. Ever since I hurt a hip skiing, I have had tightness doing this pose. So I'm going to give you a different way of starting to work into it to start opening up your inner thighs. So what you're going to do is, you're going to bring your feet together, and you're going to have the outer edges of your feet come together. And what you want to do is, you want to have your feet open up like a book, okay? So, and you hold on to your feet. But what we're going to do first is, you're going to put your hands behind you, kind of on a diagonal from your hips, and you're going to push up. And this starts creating openness in those inner thighs. Did you see how my legs dropped down some? This has been helping me tremendously start working back into the pose. And then if you can go forward with a straight back. Okay? So we're going to rise up and then bend forward. And then release. And then what you can do is, you can put your left hand out, still kind of like out, I don't know, about 5 inches out from your left hip. And you're going to put your right hand down here on your leg, and you're gently, very gently, going to push down on your leg. You do not use force here. Notice how I'm not doing any kind of bending, or, like bouncing, I mean. You never ever do bouncing in yoga. That is a surefire way of hurting yourself, okay? So it's just a gentle push down on the leg. Then I'm going to put my right hand down. I'm going to do the same with my left hand. Okay? And then what you can do is, you can come forward, and then we do this gentle waving motion. This is, again, the dynamic to a static movement. And the reason why is like we're telling our stretch receptors, don't freak out. I'm starting to stretch, and I'm going to do a deep stretch here. And you're going to be okay. And I'm going to listen to you. So you got to listen to the stretch receptors to where they tell you where you can go to. And then this is where they're telling me right now. So then I just hold in a static position, and I breathe. And these poses, it's really good to breathe out through your mouth. It just allows you to go a little bit deeper sometimes. And when you bend forward, you do not want to curl your back. You want to bring your head down. I'm really trying to reach my head more out towards you, the camera, than down towards my feet. Okay? And then we're going to come up. Now, we're going to do Upavishta Konasana. So, again, we're going to extend our legs out, and you're going to keep your feet flexed, okay? So your legs are dynamic. Now, you may need your block in this pose. And what you're going to do is, again, we're going to do this gentle waving motion. And then you can just kind of, some of you might just want to rest here. Now, some of you might not even be able to bend forward, and that's okay. Don't push yourself in this pose. This is a surefire way of pulling the muscles in the back of the knees or the hamstrings if you force yourself. So again, you can start working here by putting your hands behind you and pushing up. And then you can start leaning forward. Just stay there until you're ready to actually try to lean forward. And you can just keep pushing up and releasing. Pushing up and releasing. Okay? Otherwise, if you can put your hands on your block, and you can rest your forearms down, and you can kind of start doing this gentle waving motion, letting those stretch receptors know. And it's very subtle. See, it's not bouncing. It's just like this very gentle movement that I'm coming down into. Now, in all forward bends, one of the main and important things that you have to do is, you want to keep your back straight. No hunching, trying to get your head down to the floor. Getting your head down on the floor means nothing, okay? Because you know what that's going to do? It's going to pop a disc, or you're going to pull your hamstring or hurt the muscles on the back of your knees. What's more important is creating length in your spine. And when you create the length in your spine, you're going to create the length in your legs. So when I'm going forward, I'm actually trying to reach my head out towards that camera. And then I'm just going to keep folding down until I can come down and rest my hands. And again, see, I have my feet flexed, I am not hunching over, and I'm reaching my head forward. And then if you can always grab your feet and drop your head down, okay? That is how you go into a forward bend. No hunching of the back, no curling of the back, ever. It does not matter about getting your head down towards your knees. Maybe it looks good, but who cares if you're going to hurt yourself? So be gentle with your body, okay? Don't be violent with yourself. Be gentle and listen to what your body is telling you you can or cannot do. Now the next move is Janu Shirshasana. So what you're going to do is you're going to extend your right foot out, keeping your right foot flexed, bringing that left foot in, bending your left knee out towards the side, and your left foot is coming up against your thigh. Now some of you here may need a strap. So if you can't bend forward too far, what you can do is you can just gently start kind of walking yourself towards your leg. And again, what you want to do is keep that spine straight. No hunching. Going like this, bad, bad, bad. It's just going to create injury. Now, one of the things about this pose is it's a gentle little twist. So you're going to take your right hand behind you and your left hand by your knee, and you're going to twist your torso over your thigh. And then if you can, you're going to grab your foot, okay? If you can't, use your strap. And then you want your elbows going out to the sides. You want length in your collarbones here. And again, you can do the gentle motion of waving until you feel you can get to where you're going. Now see, I can get my head down to my knee, but I am looking at the floor. I am not looking back at my pelvis. If you get your head down towards your knee and you open your eyes and you see your hip, you're curling your back, okay? So come back up and start slowly working back down. Then go ahead and come up, and now let's change sides. So extend that right leg out, bring the right foot in towards your right thigh. Remember again, put that strap over here, your left foot, and you can slowly walk yourself out towards your foot that way until you can get more length, okay? And then remember, gentle little twist. So my left hand comes behind me, my right hand by my knee, and I twist my torso over my thigh. Then I grab my foot, extend my elbows out, and I gently wave down until I find my edge. And again, see, I'm down, I have my head down, my nose is touching my knee, but I'm not hunching my back, and I can see the floor. If I were looking back at my hip, I would have to come up, because then I'm definitely going to cause myself severe back problems or pull a hamstring. And I am trying to keep my elbows out to the side, which creates openness and length in my chest and my spine. And then come on up. And then you're going to extend your right foot out, and we're going to do Paschimottanasana. So again, you might need to wrap your strap around your feet, and you can gently come forward. Now, if you can't even bend forward, again, this is another one. You can push up on your hands and just kind of gently start creating some length. And you want to keep your feet flexed, okay? Your legs stay active. Don't let your legs flop out in any of these poses. Have you noticed how I haven't let that happen? Because that's another way of hurting your knees, another problem with your hamstrings. You can just do all sorts of damage doing that. So I'm keeping my feet flexed. And if you can grab your feet. If not, try to grab your ankles. You can even put your hands down towards the side. Again, bend your elbows out to the side. And then you can just do gentle waving, very, very gentle, no forcing, especially in this pose. And then all poses. And then when you can, find your edge and relax into it and breathe. Now remember, one of the tricks for releasing your hamstrings is you tighten up your quadriceps. So when I first went into the pose, I was a little tight in my hamstrings. I tightened up my quadriceps and my hamstrings released, and I was able to go deeper into the pose. Okay, now when we're done doing our forward bends, this is a really nice way to end a routine, doing some forward bends. Eventually I'll show you some twists, but it's a really great way to end the routine. And then we're going to go into Savasana. Now, Savasana is considered one of the most important poses in yoga, because it's where your entire routine kind of comes together. So what you're going to do is you're going to bring your big toes together, walk your heels out, and then you're going to let your feet flop open. And then you're going to put your hands palm up, I like them about a foot out from my hips. Some people like them a little further, but you don't want them out directly to the side, okay? So about a foot out from your hips, adjust your hips a little bit, and then bring your shoulders down your spine. Not in, just down. And then just lay here and breathe. Iyengar, he recommends that you do this pose for at least 15 minutes each day. And I recommend strongly that if you can't do any yoga at all, just do Savasana for 15 minutes, laying down. I know it seems like this is like you're not doing anything, but you're doing so much, especially if you can calm your mind down. It allows your body to be able to do what it needs to do without your thoughts interrupting and throwing you off balance. And it's a great way to reduce stress at the end of the day. Just giving yourself this 15 minutes to rejuvenate yourself. Now, if your lower back really hurts you when you're in this pose, what you can do is you walk your feet out to the side of the mat and you bring your knees together. And this will release your lower back to the floor, and it should get rid of your lower back pain. If that doesn't work, you can put your legs on a pillow. They recommend that you don't do that for, I can't remember, 3 months or so, but I say if you have pain, go ahead and support yourself. And that's called Savasana. So you can put a pillow underneath your knees and do that, but preferably if this pose right here works, go for this one. And then you just lay here and just enjoy.